he already had a lot of patience. 3 days worth. He proved to the world with the love that is found.
My name is Devin Peters, and I am the curator and exhibiting in the show at the Gerald Peters Gallery, which is entitled Levels of Inquiry, Unknown, Emerging, and Mature. So we have a group of artists who are in different stages of their career, most of which are emerging, but are of a wide variety of ages. It's an honor, it's an honor for pretty much any artist in this day and age to show in this gallery. And for this group of people to be able to show here has been great for a lot of artists. It's been a gallery that has set the standard in Santa Fe for many years. And there hasn't been many galleries in Santa Fe that support emerging artists. And we had our first show 3 years ago, which was the Future of Fine Arts. And until then, there were no galleries supporting local artists, and there was a big burst of local artists being supported by local galleries, which is a relatively new thing in Santa Fe. An emerging artist is an artist that is at the beginning of their career, has not showed in many galleries, has not sold a lot of their work, but is highly talented. And that's what we're looking for, is artists who have not been exposed to the world and who have a lot of skill and talent.
Coming back here to Santa Fe, I've been looking at the sky a lot. You can see there's a lot of sky, light, color qualities. It's been pretty big inspiration. And but yeah, just more, I think the more that I'm sort of opening my eyes to what the actual color is of the natural world and the world around me, it's where that's really informing it and sort of responding, having a dialogue with color, with nature, I guess you could say. I mean, if you sort of look at the color as a sort of a form of expression that nature is using as well, that's sort of the kind of sentiment that I like to respond with.
I usually start by mixing one color and add and subtract from that one color to make all the colors for my paintings. So they're constantly evolving and changing as I paint. The best feelings when I wake up the next day and get to see the painting for real. And that gives me best drug ever.
There will never be the same adrenaline rush as working on the street. And working in a show is, it's very controlled. There's no risk. Until the opening, I may get a little bit of the same anxiety as, painting on the street, but that's just having your artwork out there to be judged by a group of people. I mean, vandalizing private and public property.
I work photographically, and everything that I've done, I work at the photo center at the Evergreen State College, and I've been teaching and doing workshops, and I learned a lot about the chemistry and the science of photography, and that has really led me to start bending and breaking rules with photography. So this is all done with film and chemistry. So they're black and white photographs that are hand colored, and I use multiple exposures and mix my own chemicals. I wish I could paint, and so I've been painting the chemicals onto the photographs with paintbrushes, which is part of the reason why they look painterly. I wouldn't say that there are too many artists that I've been inspired by for this. It's mostly just been my own puzzle solving and trying to put things together.
I started painting in the late 80s, showed in Germany a little bit, had my own shows, and Santa Fe was just a different level of inspiration. Well, I consider my work mostly mixed media because I use so many different layers, but also I'd like to use what I call post-consumer materials, everyday things like cut open boxes. And my latest body is also using wool and CD cases. And then I treat them like canvas and build them up with different medias and try to create a certain effect. And it's often about color, the impact about color. And I like people to get interested in the piece, like what is it made of? And yeah, art is about stimulating people. Orange is said to be the color of courage. A lot of monks were orange, and it's also a stimulating color, mixture of yellow and red, and I like that. I like people to engage with a certain color, and orange is a color you can't really avoid. You either like it or you don't like it. It grabs your attention. And so far, a lot of people like it and admire it, which is nice for me to hear.
Honestly, strictly between us, I used a lot of fake blood in these paintings. You know, you got like that like blowout Halloween sale when everything's going for cheap. I went and just got like a gang of fake blood and just, you know, I was interested to see what I could do with it. So mixed media to say the least, you know, but I'll use anything, man. Hair dye, shoe dye, acrylic, oil, music notes, whatever I can get my hands on. It's fun, you know, like I like realism, but I find abstract just less limiting. It's more fun. It's more fun.
And what inspired this piece?
Honestly, my father just recently passed away right around the time that I was doing these pieces, and he was a musician also as well as an artist, one of the best painters I've ever known. And I was, you know, painting these when I was kind of reminiscent on my father and going through all that. So everything kind of came out a little dark, I guess, right? But I feel like he's in there. I feel like I caught some of his vibe there, you know? I wish he was here. I think he'd like him.
If I was a collector, or if I had the money to be a collector, I would buy one of his paintings straight away. But there's also other paintings in here which I found very intriguing, very fascinating. It's wonderful to see young artists displayed in a gallery of this caliber. I think it's marvelous. They're very well put together.
So what brings you to the show tonight?
Well, I was actually just curious because the title itself is pretty profound. So I wanted to see what it had to present and see if it really was the future of fine art. So far, my eyes are really pleased. All the paintings and pictures are pretty interesting, and I'm just moving my way around really slowly because I'm pretty captured by most of them.
I'd say it's mostly a derivative of the emotion in the world right now, and it's just kind of a representation of the way I feel about the general populace right now. I find my inspiration from a lot of things. Francis Bacon is one of my favorite artists, so I look to him a lot. And I also, all of this is from the imagination, so there's no reference in this at all. I'm not using any photo stock or anything like that. This is a gouache and graphite piece. All of these paintings were done in one day, and it's about stop being precious with your art and get into kind of like a Zen mode with it.
I think the Santa Fe art scene in Santa Fe is very complex, and there's a lot of galleries showing mediocre art, and there's a lot of artists that are phenomenal that are not being represented. And it would be great if a lot more galleries would recognize the local artists with phenomenal amounts of talent.
I think it's the power in his strokes.
Brush strokes, he means.
Yeah.